Hello, and welcome to a Battlefront 2 modding tutorial. I'm just going to show you how to make a basic mod and just do all the things you'd have to do for any kind of mod. So the first thing you need to do is download the Battlefront 2 mod tools, which you can find in various places. There's different versions. I don't actually remember how to do it because it's been so long, but when you do install them, I'll leave a link to one in the description, but you would put it in your C drive or whatever drive you're using. I'm using it on an external drive for more storage, but once you have that, there's another thing that I don't even think you need it anymore because they might have fixed it, but there's a thing called the Munch patch, which I recommend you watch another video how to install. But it basically, you just put it in your mod tools, and it fixes the Munger thing. I don't know, you might not even need it, but I'll leave a link anyway, and hopefully you can find another video showing how to install that. So, once you get your mod tools downloaded, and you open up the folder, this is what you should see. These are the assets, this is all the stock characters, weapons, worlds, is everything. Battlefront 1 assets, you will not have this folder because I put this in mine separately, but it's all the Battlefront 1 stuff. You can get it if you download the Battlefront 1 mod tools. Just take it from that. Data. These are mods that I've made. When you make a mod, it'll make one of these, and this is how you edit it. I'll show you later. Documentation. And it has a bunch of tutorials on how to mod and just how. I recommend you read these if you get confused. It's kind of confusing, but it helps. I don't actually know what these do, but you shouldn't need them. This is a stock side that it gives you, and it teaches you how to use it in the templates, but I'm going to show you how to do it here. And then this is a readme that shows you what each of the docs talks about. So, if you want to make a new mod, no matter what you're doing, the first thing you have to do is click on Data, Build, and then Mod Tools Visual Munch.exe. A lot of the stuff in here you will never click on, and it's just to help this work. Once you open this, this is what you'll get. You'll get your world name. All mods have a world, even if it's not being used. So I'm just going to name it. And this is a description. This is the 3-line thing that appears under it when you highlight over it. Then these are the 3-letter words that you see. If you've ever downloaded a mod, you'd know that that all mods use. You can use letters or numbers. I'm going to use. And of course, if it's a space map, you click that. And even if you're not using a map, you should at least click Conquest, just because. So then you click Create World. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the first time you launch this Munger, it will ask for a directory. You have to direct it to your game data for Battlefront 2, which would be, I'm using a shortcut, but it's your Steam, Common, all that. And then you just click on the game data. Don't go into your add-on folder. Just right here. So once it will say it takes a while, and you'll say it's not responding. It is. Just gotta give it a second. And then this will come up, and then close that. You go back to data, and when you go back here, you should have a new data folder. If this is your first mod, then you won't have these three, and this is the one. So this is the thing. This is our new mod. Now the first thing you always have to do when you open this is go into build, and munge it again, and this time it'll have the bottom half. So you just click select all, then click munge. You have to do that the first time just so things work. This shouldn't take too long because not anything in there. Just the assets for the stock map, which I'll show you in a second. Once it's finished, you will click OK. Close this. And then here is like warnings are fine, but errors you should tend to look at. Sound munge errors are fine too. And the shell.rec error is fine too. That will always show up. So you close that, and now you should have a new mod installed where you would keep all your other mods in your data in your add-on folder. So yeah, S9L. So now you can launch Battlefront, and I'll show you what it did. Alright, so once you load up your thing, down here is test map. This is the map we just made, and there's the conquest. It'll automatically come with Clone Wars and Galactic Civil War. So once I'm just gonna launch it in Clone Wars to show you what. This is the default loading screen. You can change it, I just don't know how. So, of course, you can spawn in. Our CPs. And Anakin and Maul are the default heroes. So so this is it. You can play here. I'll teach you how to edit this. I'm using the hero scripts mod, that's why Maul is right here. But yeah, so all mods will start out like this. You don't have to Alright, so that you don't even have to test it. Right there, I was just showing you what it did. But apparently when I launched the game, it screwed up my recorder. Well, let me fix that. Sorry about that, I had to reset my recorder. Okay, so at this point is where you decide what you want your mod to be. There's so many things you can do at this point. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to make an era mod, kind of like the ones that add, like under Clone Wars, the Galactic Civil, there's a new era. I'm going to show you how to add a new era to a stock map. So, first thing you would do is you go to your assets folder. Now, I would never move anything from here, only copy. So go into sides, and some modders just copy all the sides, but I think I'm just going to use like the ones that I plan to use. So for the sake of this era, I'm going to make it Republic versus Empire, just to show you. So I will need the Republic, I'll need the Empire, which is hold on. let me go through what each of these are. So, all is the Alliance. CIS is CIS, of course. Common is like it's like things that all sides share. Sounds, animations. Always copy common. Des is the Tusken Raiders and the Jawas. Ewok is the Ewoks. Gam is the Gamorrean Guards. Gar is the Naboo Guards and Temple Guards used in the campaign. Geo is the Geonosians. Gun is the Gungans. Imp is the Empire. Jed is the stock Jedis used in the campaign. Rep is the Republic. Snow is the Wampas used in the Snow Hunt, the Hoth mission. Tur is turrets, like wall turrets and ceiling turrets. I recommend you copy this one as well. And Wook is the Wookiees used on Kashyyyk. So, for this one, now, this is just a tip, but if you're editing like cross-era sides like I'm going to do, then you would get like both sides. So say that I was going to use I'm gonna make a battle with the Republic and the Empire. So I would select them both, and I would also get their counterparts so it doesn't screw things up like the Alliance and the CIS. Even if you don't use them, always get common, and usually get Tur. So, and then you copy those, and then you go back into your data S9L folder or whatever you called it, sides, and then you'll see this Tur folder. You can delete it. This is just a placeholder. And then you would paste in all the sides we just copied. Again, if you're not sure which ones to take, just take them all. It will take longer to do this, but you will have everything. And you can always go back and get another side. Like if you change your mind, say you want to add Geonosians, you can go get them. So this just takes a second. It's a lot of files. I'll show you what's inside in a minute, but they're really small. They're just little. I'll quickly go over how sides work. It's not that complicated. Wow. Okay, so once these are copied, I'm just going to show you how they work. So each side, this is the rep side. So you will see effects, mesh, munged, ODF, and rec, and then these two rec files. Open these with Notepad. Like it'll have just a file, and then when you open with, you can use Notepad or you can use Notepad++ or whatever you want to open it with. But so the effect folder has stuff like this is for this is for like the jetpack that the jet trooper uses, and this is like the Jedi Smash where Mace Windu would smash the ground and make that effect on the ground. That's where the effects are. Mesh is texture. All textures. These are units. These are weapons. These are just the models and textures. A mesh file with the I recommend you turn on these extensions. I believe you do that by going to View, and then you click on Show and Hide, and then you click File Name Extensions, and that will show the dot and what kind of file it is just from right there. So the mesh folders are just the textures, like this is Luke. I don't know why he's in here, but he is. All in mesh, so that would be Luke Skywalker's model, and then his lightsaber model is here, and a taiga is like the colors. If you just load the mesh, but these files are automatically hexed together, so you won't have to ever mess with taigas. Just make sure they're in the same folder as the mesh. I'll show you later. Options. It just helps the game read it. They're really not necessary at all. And some will have a PC, which will have more. And if you copy a side, like say that you're copying, say that you go to the Rebels and you want to copy something in here, I recommend you also put it in the PC folder inside whatever mesh of the team that you're. Basically, if it's in a PC folder, put it in another one. So, ignore that. That is a glitch on my part because I accidentally put that. When you munge sides, or when you copy sides, it'll copy it from the asset folder, as you saw it. Meaning that if you want, you can put foreign assets in there so they copy to every mod you make. I don't recommend doing that, but you can. So I'm gonna go over to munged. These are skeletons and animations. Like this is Ayla Sakuda. Her animations. Her Zafbin is her model shape. No, her skeleton shape, excuse me. And I don't know why, but you'll have a Zafbin with 2 A's and one with singular. These are only used for units that move differently than others, like Obi-Wan. And all the ships have their own animations as well. The Sprint is actually a rec folder, but you'll only mess with these if you're adding a new animation, which probably, I guess I'll show you how to do it in a future tutorial. Now the ODF is, these are all of the units themselves. Like, here is, oh yeah, I might as well go over like how files are named. So there's Rep is the team. Hero is, or it's like the class. Imp is like a soldier. Hover is a vehicle, like a tank that hovers above the ground. And fly is like a ship. And then it'll have like another name. These are just used for organization, just to help modders keep stuff straight. It doesn't really matter what it's called. But basically, if you want, if you were to open okay, so here is Rep, Imp, EP3, Officer. So this is the officer used in the Clone Wars. So his parent class, so parent class is what it will start. Like it will take another file, edit from that. So in this case, it's Rep Inf Default Officer. So that would be this one. Then this is the thing that all Imperial officers use. these defaults, and even they have a rep in default, which is sounds and stuff that all units share. This is points to unlock, unit type, which is support, which I don't really know what that really makes a difference. I just know that it can be support, scout, hover, which is making me say fly, animation name, clone commander. You know how the clone's commander uses a different skeleton? That's how you, max speed. Max strike speed is like walking left and right. Scanning range, and then here's all the weapons. This is where you would put their weapons. So he has 4 weapons. He has the chain gun, of course, and his pistol, it's the ammo. And then here is his shield buff, and then how many he gets, and the weapon channel means it goes in the grenade slot. This is the recon droid, and then that's also in the grenade spot. And then this is the ward pistol that you would unlock for not getting enough kills with the pistol. And the VO unit type, I don't know what that is, but just don't mess with it. So that means that this unit, this is the EP3 officer, copies everything from this plus what is added here. So this is the geometry name. This is the mesh that you need. This is his model and texture. The low res is from far away, like you know how like if you look at a unit from far away, he's kind of blurry. First person, of course, and then the cloth ODS, because this unit has a cape, you have to add that on separately. That will appear. That won't be in the mesh folder. That will be in this ODS folder that I'm in right now. And I will show you how to add new units and to make a new character. So, like the heroes, here's Mace Windu, have their own, like, here's his jumping property, here's his collision scale so we can't take fall damage, his weapons, and then all the sounds. And then he has a cloth ODF too. His skeleton name, Mace, because he uses a different one. If they don't have an animation name, then they're most likely using a different... And they're most likely using the default hero. Like this is the EP2 Rifleman. Oh, I might as well... Rifleman default. It doesn't have a new a skeleton. It just so therefore it and also the icon texture, which is what they look like on the map, tends to be different. You usually won't mess with that. And the label, I don't know what that does, but it's not important. Okay, so that's the ODF, that's everything. And then the rec files are just to keep the game, like, it allows the game to read the ODF files. This is stuff that doesn't change. But like say, I mean, all of these are, like here's Obi-Wan's. All it says is rep your Obi-Wan. It just tells the game to read that file. And to add a new file, I mean, if you add a new ODF file, then you have to add one of these. I'll do it later. And you also have to add their name to this list. This is inside the rep folder. It's the first rep file that you should open with your notepad or whatever. And it will have a list of all of the ODFs in units and vehicles, at least, inside the the ODS folder. That doesn't include weapons. Weapons don't need to have this. Only vehicles and units. And this, the rep shell, you should never have to mess with. It's just more model stuff. So that's how the sides work. Now say that you wanted to make. So I'm going to add this mod to another stock map. I'm not going to use the one that I made. I will show you how to edit that and how to import a stock map, kind of like my Camino mod, how it's its own map, but it's still a stock map. So if you want to add an area, you go back to here and you go into your assets and you go to scripts. And this is where you pick your map that you want to use. This is Bestspin. I actually have no idea why this was here. It's because it was used in the DLC for Xbox Edition, the Bestspin map from Battlefront 1. But honestly, if you want to use that, I recommend you get it from the Battlefront 1 assets. You go get that. So don't mess with that one. But Core is Coruscant. Dag is Dagobah. Oh. These are by planets, not maps. So some of these have more than one map inside of them. That's the Death Star. Endor, Volusia, Geonosis, Os, Camino, Kashyyyk, Mustafar, Megiddo, Naboo. PC is just team stat stuff. That's not a map. Olis Massa, Renfar, another map that you should get from Battlefront 1 if you want to use them. This is all the space maps. If you want to use one of their scripts. This is the Tent of 4, the ship map. Tat is Tatooine. Test is... I don't know what those are. Maybe they're just placement holder scripts. This one is Utapau, and this one is Yavin. So I'm going to make this specific map in, say, Mos Eisley. So that would be Tat, because it's on Tatooine. So inside Tat, there will be Tat 2. There'll be all these different scripts. Tat 1 is missing because that is the Dune Sea map used for Battlefront 1, and it's not in this one. So Tat 2 is Mos Eisley, and Tat 3 is Jabba's Palace. So you'll see all the different game mode scripts. Con is Conquest. CTF is 2 flag, capture the flag. ELI is the Hero Assault, Hunt. 1 flag is 1 flag, capture the flag. And then this letter is the era in which it's for. C is Clone Wars, and G is Galactic Civil War. So, when you make a new era, you have to base it off of either Clone Wars or Galactic Civil War first. I recommend using the one that's closest to what you're doing, but since mine is a cross era, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to use the Clone Wars. So what you do, Tat 2 C _ Con is the mission script for the Clone Wars Conquest for Mos Eisley. I also recommend you open this with Notepad like I did. So you would copy this script. Then you go back to your data -L. Now go into Common and Scripts and just paste this anywhere in here. Since we are using a different era instead of Clone Wars, we have to rename this. We have to rename this letter, that's C in this case, to anything else. Anything besides C or G. I'm going to use X just for this example. It doesn't matter. And then you go into this, and this is the mission luau. I'll talk about this later. And one of the documents I mentioned earlier really talks about how these work. So the first thing you have to the only thing you have to do, now, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to do this because I'm using a cross-area map that uses both units from Clone Wars and Galactic Civil, so I'm going to rename. LVLs are munged sound bytes, so all sounds are located in there. GW, that's Galactic Civil War. Now I have the sounds. Now the game reads the sounds for both eras. So then, if you don't do this, then the Empire will remain silent. Like, they won't talk, their guns won't make noise. So that would be kind of weird. Another thing you have to do is it'll have all these, it'll have rep, CIS, it'll have all the teams that are used in the map. All the units. Down here is where you actually set them up. This is where you set up what units you want. And I'll do this later, I'm just gonna, but right now, you have to make it say mod instead of the one that is located in the stock mission side that would be in your game data LVL side. Instead of these sides, it will use, these are the stock sides that are used in all the unmodded maps. So that way, I mean, you can do that, like, you don't have to do this, but then you can't edit your sides. So I recommend you always do that to all of the sides. Maybe not turret, because you don't really mess with them, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, now I'll come back to this right now. Save it. Mission. And you have to go down to the bottom, and you have to add the name of that script you just added. To X. Without quotes, it won't work. And these are the scripts for the map that I showed you earlier, that stock map we curated. That one automatically comes with conquest scripts because I clicked on the conquest when I made the map. So you save that. Now you go into the mission folder here, and you locate TAT to the one that we edited. Oh, it actually does have a TAT one in here. Weird. TAT to ccon.rec. Copy this. Replace that rudder with X. Mission folder tells the game what scripts to read, so it knows that this exists. Now you go to add me right here, and you open this addme.luau in Notepad. So this is what tells the game what to load from the, like when you, the instant action roster, like this, like, it's hard to explain, but this line tells the game to add that map that we curated to the list of battles and all the game modes. This is like Civil War and Clone Wars and Conquest. But we're not using that map. We're making a new era mode. So what you would do is you would put 2, not these ones, these are important. Dashes, it tells the game to skip over that line, so it thinks it's a comment. So down here, you have to add something, certain line that's in between these two that tells the game to add to that. In our case, most likely, it will add it to that specific map. Now, I actually had that written down, so just ignore what I'm doing. I'm just going into my own stuff to try, where is it? Notes. I keep a notes folder with all the code. So the code for this is, I'm gonna copy it and just read it off to you. So add new game modes with capitals for each new word, parentheses, space, SP underscore, mission select underscore, list box underscore content, comma, space, and this is where you put your map. Ours would be era. That should be X. Era that we're adding. And you also have to copy this line. You copy in front of those two, so that would be add downloadable content, and that's the name of the map right here. So this would be munge it again. Every time you make a change, you have to munge it. This is like saving it pretty much. So then you would do, these are the sides of all the sides I have in my sides folder. I'm gonna do everything. You can either do one side, no sides, or all the sides. But since I added all these, we're gonna use all the sides. Also, it'll automatically munge the world. It doesn't matter. Common is like all the scripts, always munge the common. Sounds, if you add new sounds, you'd munge that. Movies, if you add a new movie, which I don't actually know how to do, but. And localizes when you name something and all that. So then you'd click munge once you get. Now this will take a second, and it says here that is never mind, it's going too fast, but I'm gonna let this munge and I'll tell you when it's done, and I'll show you what happens. Again, I highly recommend you find another video that explains how to set up the mod tools, because it's just been so long since I've done it. I've been modding since I was 11, so I don't remember how to do it. I do know that when you first launch this, you have to direct it to the your game data folder, which I have a shortcut to on my desktop, but you might not. So you'd go to your your program files and Steam or LucasArts, depending on what version you have, and you go to your Steam apps common. I'm using the Steam version. So this, it's taken a while because we added a lot of stuff since we last did this. I'm also gonna add some by the way, if you run your mod and you see on your map list just a scribble kind of mess where it should be and your game just crashes, then you need to fix something in your mod tools, meaning the munch fix. Again, I don't even know if you need that anymore because it's been so long, but I would get it anyway. It won't hurt. I'll leave a link to the mod tools and to the munch patch, and I'll also leave a link to the Battlefront 1 mod tools if you want the assets. Now, those work a little differently because the scripts are different, and I might do a video showing how to port a map or an asset from Battlefront 1. It's really not that hard because they're already made. I will also show you how to add new units to the team and new weapons and change textures and stuff. So it says there, never mind. These are all the mesh textures that are in the folder. One thing you can do is, if your mod is like this and it's particularly long, you can delete some of the files that you're not using once you're finished. Alright, so once this shows up, all done, close this. These are all warnings for all the textures of the teams we just put in. It will always give us a warning when it adds a new texture. So that's fine. Air, you should look at if it's not, usually an error involves something you messed up in the script, like you forgot a comma or something dumb. But, so once that, now you can launch, Battlefront 2. Plug in my controller. Okay, so now if you scroll down, you'll notice that the test map is no longer there because we removed it in the ADME. And under Mos Eisley, there is a new era called Extended Civil War. That's the name for X. Every letter has its own name. These are other mods, don't worry about them. So, launch it with Conquest, and we'll see if it just works. It should be just a regular Clone Wars Conquest battle. What? Okay, sorry about that. So I was actually using another mod that had the era.
Give him a wide berth.
I was using another mod that was using that specific era, the Tattoo X Con. So just know, don't do that. Don't use two with the same. I uninstalled it, so that was my mistake. Yours should have worked like this. So as you see, it's just a regular Clone Wars Conquest battle, and I will show you how to edit these teams. And alright, so I'm not going to do it here, but I actually know how to do this, like how to add the heroes into the game per mod. So if you want to do this without the hero script mod, I will show you how. It works. Like, this is like a new era. I'm going to show you how to change things. Like, let me fix this. Okay, so oh yeah, you can also delete that. So say, alright, so now what I was going to do was I was going to replace the CIS with the Empire. I'm going to show you how to do that, and then I'll show you how to add new unit, add new weapons, and customize weapons. So, go to Common in your scripts. This is the script, and you gotta find the Tattoo X that we made. So this is the script for the battle that just made. I already showed you how to do the DC side and sound munch. But, so say that we want to add the Empire instead of the CIS. Well, first thing you want to do is tell the game that the opposing team is not the CIS and is indeed the Empire. So, you will go down this list, and everywhere I see CIS, I'm going to replace it with Hacker, which is the opposing team. There's always C1, and EEF is the defender. In this case, Republic is the attacker, and the Imp is the defender. Is the locals, which is Dez in this case. It's the Jawas that walk around. So everywhere the ice now, I would do this last. The side lunging, I'll do that last. But like you go down here, this is the script for the Jawas. I add a third team. I'll show you how to do that in another video as well. And yeah. Actually, I'll just add them here. So you can either replace the CIS. That actually might be easier. I'm gonna do that. And then the thing with CIS is that they're the same. Their names are the same. Imp Engineer, Sniper, Imp Officer. Hero, I'm gonna use Boba Fett. So. To know what these, like, what to write, they're the same names that are in the ODF folder. So, sides, it's imp, ODF. If you want to add Vader and you don't know what his file name is, you just find hero Darth Vader, and then you just you can copy and paste the name or just type it from that. But that one's Boba Fett's, and then this is the Dark. Jet Trooper doesn't have this underscore, but the Dark Trooper does, I believe. Let me just confirm that. Dark Trooper. Yeah, he doesn't have a. And the Dark Trooper hunt is used for the. He is going to be used for the. But basically, yeah, the only difference is there are no points to unlock. But just ignore that. So yeah, so that's the Empire team, and then it's the Jawas. We'll leave that be. So over here, and then again where we this tells the game to read that file, and this plugs it in where you want it. So I'm not sure if stuff is case sensitive, but just to be safe. So again. In this case, you would do it just alt imp, because like with the clones, there's EP3 or EP2, which you'd have to add. But the Empire. Oh. Place that as imp. Clone Wars music, you can have Clone Wars or Record Civil. I'm going to stick with Clone Wars. Anything that has these two again, you don't have to mess with because it's not being loaded. These are the announcers. So doing this, I recommend you follow, this tutorial just to make sure you know that it's working. This is the leaving the battlefield speech, so you can just. distance difference, but zooms and stuff, just don't mess with those. And that's it. Save. Close. And I recommend you munch after every change, just so you can catch bugs. Because if it doesn't work, then you know that your error is in... If it doesn't work, then you know that your error was something to do with your last. Say you were to make this whole mod with one munch and it doesn't work, you would have to hunt forever to find what was causing the error. If it doesn't work, it'll just crash when you load it. So I didn't actually change any of the sides during that. I just changed the script. But just because I'm just gonna munch the Empire, just not. Uh-oh. Made a mistake somewhere. If you see this, then you messed up. So let me cancel this. Just click stop. So now if I was in the say that I did the whole mod and I munched it and that happened, I wouldn't know where to look. But since I know what I changed, I can go back and find it. Common scripts here. Now just kind of scan this to make sure I got all the commas and parentheses in the right place. Make sure the commas go after the quotations. There's no comma on the last one, just parentheses close. I really feel it has something to do with that because I erased it, so. If yours worked, you just skip ahead. Because I'm an idiot. I'm just gonna try that. It still might not work, but yeah, it still didn't work. Something wrong. And if you really can't find the error, you can always replace the script with the asset one again, and that should fix it. It's probably something really minute. Again, if yours worked, just skip to where I figured this out. That might be why. That might... Yeah, if you see that, it doesn't work. Usually I find it. Alright, so I'm just going to do this. This is what you would do if you can't find the air. Just go back to this. Back to your scripts. You don't have to do everything again, because we already did that, but tattoo. Tattoo. This is how you fix it. If you can't find the mistake, because there are no errors in the asset scripts. So now I would go back to where that was. Now this is where some modders just freak out because they don't know what to do. You just gotta stay cool. The hardest part, honestly, is finding stuff because it's a maze. Script. Here we go. Okay, so delete the old one. Let's put in the new one. I'm gonna munge it just to see if it works. I'm not gonna test it because I know what it looks like. But it will tell me if there's error. I'm just gonna... Yeah, see, now there's no error. Now it works. If you see an error, like right here, that means that there's an error in your luau somewhere. I'll just do it again. But I'll be more careful this time so I don't mess up and can't find it. You can definitely skip to where I figure this out. But I want to leave this in the video so you guys know how to fix it if this does happen on another mod or something. So now I'm going to go back into the script and do what I just did again. I'm going to cut it because you just saw me do it. So I'm going to pause my recorder and I'll be right back when I have put the Empire back in here. Good, alright. I got it working. I just did what I just did before again. But I added the Empire, like the read file. I'll just open what I did just to show you. So, last time I just replaced the CIS with the Empire, but this time I just added the Empire as a separate file. This doesn't matter. Like, you can put them all here if you want, but what's the point? So there. So now I'm going to launch the mod. See if we have Republic versus Empire. This is just what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want. This is just how you... This is how you mess with sides in the script. How you tell the game what units to load. Now I'll show you how to... So... Precisely... Now I'll show you how to edit the actual unit itself. Say you want to give different weapons, different textures, or whatnot. So now we got...
General Kenobi has joined the battle. Their forces are under escort of a leader.
So now we have the Republic and the Empire. And already said Boba Fett was here, so I'd actually have to do something else because their guns aren't making noise. The Empire.
The command post is no longer under Empire control.
The announcers work though. And the Republic works because I'm using the Clone Wars script.
Control of the command post.
But I think I know how to fix this. Boba Fett.
Here, let's get this over with. A command post for the Empire.
Wondering why he doesn't throw his lightsaber. I have a mod that turns that off. But he should throw it for yours if he didn't.
Obi-Wan has abandoned the battle. That's another one.
So I'm gonna try something to try to fix the sounds. I think I know how to do it. Since the Republic, or since the Empire isn't meant to fight the Republic on Tatooine, then they don't have the right sound files. But I do know how to fix that. So you go back to your scripts. Find that one. 2x. And where I put in Tattoo, replace it with Camino, because of the changing of the guard mission is Republic versus Empire. So it's sounds are a little bit weird because the game doesn't intend cross-era ever, apart from certain cases like in the campaigns. So if you have trouble with that, that's what you can do, is use Camino, because now I can't say the same for the CIS. If you want to have a battle with the CIS versus the Rebels, there's no battle in which that occurs, so you won't really, you'll have to make your own sound files, which I might show you how to do. It's kind of hard and not really worth it, but and they wouldn't interact because the game doesn't intend, unless you record your own voice lines, the CIS and the Rebels wouldn't interact like the Imperials and the clones do. So most likely most modders don't lunge every time, but I just make mistakes and I have trouble finding them. So now,
Kenobi has wandered onto the battlefield. Help him off. Boba Fett has entered the battlefield.
it worked to some degree. Yeah. It works now in the sense that the reacts to the clones. But so that's that. I don't know why you'd really need that mod, but okay, so
if you want, now I'm going to show you how to edit a unit. Add a unit to your team and mess with weapons. So I'm just going to edit the Republic. So you go into the ODF. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to get a model that I have to replace it with. You can replace it with a stock one. I recommend you do that just so you understand how to do it at all. But I'm going to use I'm also going to show you how to add new models to the game. Alright, so I have these guys, which I'm so sorry, I don't actually remember who they're by, but I found them on ModDB. So here's some pictures. If I ever figure out who made these, I'll comment, but I'll put it in the description. Or if you know who made these, or if you did it, you can tell me and I'll credit you. But I'm just gonna replace the clone trooper with this guy here, just because. He's the phase 1 sniper, so skins, phase 1 sniper. So sometimes they're skins and sometimes they're unique models. So phase 1 sniper. So he'll have a mesh and a taiga. The mesh is the model itself, the taiga is the colors. So copy those. This is the same principle for any model you get. Some will have more than one taiga, but they should have at least one mesh. So copy that and paste it into your side, that's gonna be your Republic for me, into your mesh folder anywhere. Doesn't matter, like you don't have to do the what you do is you would so you close that. And it doesn't have a, that's first person and low res, it doesn't have one of those. So now, we would just save that, close it, and now, that's done. So let's edit the weapon. So let's find it. Uses rep in rifle. There it is. Okay, this one. So then, this is ordnance. This is like the laser color and stuff. So we're gonna make the laser. It's gonna change some things. So let's make the laser green. So that's the code for blue, so we need to replace that one with code for green, which I will find here in a second. Those are the two. That's the light that it gives off when you shoot. The second one there. So I'm gonna get my notes and find the color for green. I'm on my other monitor, by the way, if you can't tell. Alright, so this is my notes file. And this is green. This is the color code for green. This one here, 61, 252, 56, 100. And if you don't have, so you just copy that. Or I'll explain in a second how to get color codes like this. You could go to the guard, find a weapon that uses it, go to the guard file, and copy it from his gun because the bullets are green. Then you just replace this one with that. Just do both. So this, there, now the bullets are green. And also change that. Dang it. Well, I'm just gonna do this. Open that back up. Sorry. This should also be whatever color you're using. So I'm gonna use green. These two you replace with the green code, which you should get from the guard gun color. And I'm just doing that to show you how to do it. Yes, and then you close that. And now let me go. So this is the weapon. I'm gonna change the. So what was I even saying a second ago until I forgot? Alright, the rifle. So this is the model of the rifle. I'm gonna get another model for that just to show. Do I have to? No, I'm not. I'm just gonna mess with the properties. This is the sound. All the sounds the gun makes. I'm gonna change those. But I need to go to parent class because that's all right here. Called weapons rifle. That will actually change all of the rifles. So if you want to change something to just one, you can go and find it. So that would be in the common. ODF. Web. Rifle. These are all the weapons that it generates from. And I'm going to just first shot. That's the HUD control. I'm gonna copy these. Looking for damage. Oh, it could be in the ord. Yeah. Yeah, ordnance will have stuff like this. There's more stuff. Here we go. Max damage. Vehicle scale. That's how much it does to a vehicle on its scale. Impact. That's like when it hits the ground. That's fine. This is what I want. I'm also looking for the speed, which I believe that's just not that. Maybe it isn't breaking enough. Rifle. I don't know why I have two of them open. I close this one. Here we go. This is guess I have everything I need. So I'm gonna have it so it shoot 50 per clip. Reload time's the same. Shot delay. 0. Here, but that will affect every rifle using your mod. So I don't. Close that. Just close everything, and then not everything. We still need the still need the folder for. Just go back to your mod tools and munge it like we've been doing. So that would be this one. And then build. Visual munge. We edited the Republic side, so make sure to munge the Republic. I'll get back to you when this is done. Okay, so now that it's done, you will see you should get a warning because this is a new model I'm using. It wasn't here before. It was telling me it's in the game. Now I can launch Battlefront, and my clone trooper should be different. And if it crashes, that means you made a mistake along the way at some point. This is why I recommend you, when you start off modding, just sponge it every change so you know where your last mistake was. You only have some modders can do it in like some modders can do it in like one munge or something. So now you just load the game like you would, and we'll see if he looks different. So most likely, then a Civil War. Now there is a way to change the name of the era, but I might show you another time. So just keep that in mind that you can change the name of the era if you want. And there we go. See, we got our new Republic trooper. And
General Kenobi has entered the battlefield.
check his gun. NPC spawn as him. And there we go. He had a faster gun with green bullets. Remember, it does half as much damage, but I mean, I know this weapon isn't very, like, you wouldn't use it, but I just want to show you how to edit weapons and that you can do this. And if you're wondering why my game is lagging, it's because my screen recorder can't pick up the game fast enough. It's really not lagging to me. So that's why it's lagging. I can change the sound of the weapon too if I want. So now I'm going to show you how to add your own unit, a whole new unit to the team. So now I'm going to teach you how to add a new unit to the team. Like, instead of some mods you see might have more than the 5 basic classes you get. So say you're making a mod and you want more than just an assault class, a heavy guy, a sniper, an engineer. You want more units. So what you do is you go to your first, let's make a unit. Let's make a new ODF file. I'll show you how to do that. So sides, Republic. I'm just gonna do Republic again. ODF. So say I wanted to add somebody new to everything. I'm gonna make him kind of like a rifleman. So I have to find whoever I want to base my unit off of. You can change them as much as you want. Just I'm gonna pick somebody. Let's go for the Marine. Why not? Episode 3 Marine. So copy him and paste it in there. I'm gonna rename it. I want to call him Rep Imp EP3. I'm gonna make this some kind of like an ARC trooper. Now, once you add that, ARC. If you add that, you have to go back to this. I have to make a new one for this trooper, so find the Marine. Copy. Yeah, the EP2 Marines. Copy that. Then just rename him ARC. The names have to match, by the way. Make sure they match. And in here, change that. That's ARC. Save. Move, and now you go to this one. And these are all the ODF units that you'll see. Anyway, it doesn't matter. As long as he's in here, make sure you have the parentheses. Right. EP3 underscore ARC in quotes. And you save. You close that. Now the game knows he exists. Now you go to your sides, rep, ODF, and let's give him a new model. So he looks like a Marine. I'm just going to change his texture just because I'm going to use another texture I got from Game Toast. So I keep my assets in another. I keep my foreign assets in another folder. So say I want him to be a commando. I have a commando. This is by. I have credits to Anakin and Andes for the rifle. And whoever made this, I don't even remember who. This is on ModDB, I'll link it as well. But I'm going to use this rifle as well. So this guy has more than just. He also comes with the. Yeah. This is more than just a model. This is like a full unit, actually. So maybe I shouldn't use him because he's a little complicated. I'll use him next time. But I just want to use a model. I'm just going to use somebody else from that pack. I'm going to use I'll use this guy. I'll use the heavy. Again, I'll leave this pack in the description if I can find it. If you want to use it, but so he's probably his own model. This one is also in the form of a see how this guy has more than one. This guy has more than one Taiga. And a low res mesh, we'll have to use that. So copy him, just copy all this stuff, paste it into your Republic mesh folder. Sorry if there's these pauses where I just don't do anything. I'm plugging in my keyboard and my controller to a port, so I have to swap them out. Either in there. I'll go over to, this is my new unit that I made. And I'm gonna call him, it has to match, so don't worry about the tag, it's just the mesh. This is the best way, just copy the name. Res too, so use it if it has one. It won't always have one, but because they're hard to make, I've heard. I don't know, I don't make assets. Who has the stuff in the Marine? I just kind of changed his, and the first person can say the same. So now he looks like that. And I'm going to, show you how to add. Go to your common, scripts, and back to our, back to this one. And you go down past the heroes. So that would be past them too. Probably in between. Probably right here. I'm at this line that's in between the Jawas and that. So you want to type in, yeah, right above the Jawas or right under this, because this won't always be here for other maps. With add class, it's these rep underscore rep that to the unit you're adding it to. In this case, it's rep MP3 arc in play. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
How many will generally spawn? So I'm gonna go with 4. Could be it. Then you save it. Oh no, I'm sorry. You have to add him to this too. You have to add him to this. File you use here, you have to put from here. So now, I don't think there's a limit how many you can add. I mean, I usually don't do more than 1 or 2, but and of course, if you're doing it for the rep, then you if you're doing it for the Imperials, you just replace that with imp and their file name, and make sure that is under the Imperial side read data file. So that should be all. Save it, close. Now we edited rep again, so rep, then munch. I'll tell you when this is done, and then we'll go see if it works. Now, after this, I will show you how to name the unit, and that will be all for this video. So I'll just show you. Now, since I just based him off the Marine, he's still the Marine, he just has a different texture. But I wanted to make him a new unit, so I showed you how to add a new unit if you needed to. So, like before, new model, warning, close that, close this. I minimize this, and launch Battlefront. Every time I walk Battlefront, it changes like it messes up my recorder because of the resolution of the screen. Okay, now you can see that there's our new unit, and
Join the battle. A leader is commanding their forces.
his name will always be code like this. That's because we haven't named him yet. I'll show you how to do that after this. So yeah, and there you go. It's a new model. He's got the same gun as the other rifleman. That's why it's the same, because we edited it earlier. And he's got the same things as a Marine, same health, same weapons. And there's the rocket launcher. And they will spawn, PCs will spawn, and as this unit, I mean, they'll spawn as this character as well, depending on the number you set for the number I was talking about.
Keep it up. We've lost control of a command post.
So now I'm going to show you how to name him. It's hard. Okay, now this next thing is probably the easiest thing. It's called Localization, and it's how you name entities and items in game. So the first thing you have to go to your data S, or this your mod S9L, and go to this one called edit localize.bat. You'll watch it. And this will come up. So this is where everything is named. So so there's cheats, common, entity, game, game spy, all these other ones. The only ones you'll really use are probably common, entity, possibly bat name, and weapons. So this is an entity, and then it'll bring up the sides. This is just to keep it organized. You can put it here if your name is different, but rep, public, and these are all of the units that are all the ODFs. So this is the pilot, see, and here's the jet trooper, the rifleman. But we're adding a new unit. Add nod. So it already has the rep part because we're in the rep folder. So you'd have to name it. You'd have to name it imp underscore EP3 underscore arc. Now you click on it, and I'm gonna call him the Clone Arc Specialist. So Clone Arc Specialist. It doesn't really matter. And then you click this button. Once you have all your changes, and you can change the name of other players if you want. Like this is the and weapons, you just go over here to weapons and find the one you want. So you've done all the changes you want. You click this memory card button right here. Just click save. It does it by itself. It takes a second sometimes, especially if you change a lot of things. And it might even say not responding, but it is. Just give it time. Because it has to save it to every language. So that's why it takes time. So once it's done, this will pop up. Saves all the languages. Click OK. Close this. Build. Munch. You don't have to do this. I'm gonna do it. You don't. It's not actually this. This is actually something else. I'm gonna do it anyway. But just make sure you munch the common. That's the only thing you really have to do. And then when you go into the, when this is done, you go into the game, and he should have a different. He should be named. So, with that, I'm gonna launch it really quick. Just show you this real quick. And then that will wrap up today's video. I'm not gonna plug in my controller, so it's gonna look funny because I'm using a wheel mouse. Island. And now we'll see. Yeah, look right here. It says Clone Art Specialist right there over the name. So that's it. Now he's named. It will appear over the other units if you aim at him. And that's really it. That's really how to make a basic era mod. Edit your and all you have to, I mean, like, just the same scripting rules for maps and all that. Next time I'll show you how to edit map. How to edit that map that we made, and how to add a ship map, like my Camino mod, in the sense that it ports over the Camino map on the list. So we'll do that. Also talk about how to add, and I'll also talk about how to add CPs and vehicles to your map if you want them. Yeah, so the next one's going to be on map making tutorials. So, hey, that's all for this one. Bye-bye.